I want to show you something in the next 10 minutes that most women don't see until they spent years and thousands of dollars of therapy. There's one belief running underneath almost every woman who people pleases. It's not, I'm not good enough. It's not even about worth. It's this: if I stop people pleasing, I'll lose them. And when I say lose them, I don't just mean they literally leave. You might be afraid you'll lose their approval, their affection, their closeness, or simply the way they see you. You've probably never said that sentence out loud, but it's why you keep saying yes when you mean no. It's why you keep shrinking in the same room, the same relationship, the same meeting. Today, we're going to find out where that belief came from, and I'm going to show you why the evidence you've been using to prove it's true may not actually be evidence at all. I'm Kim. I spent 20 years as a nurse before becoming a coach, and today I call myself an identity midwife. I help women birth the version of themselves their lives have been waiting for. And for the next 10 minutes, I want to help you meet one of those beliefs that may have been keeping that woman quiet. So get somewhere cozy and quiet, and let's begin. I invite you to close your eyes. I want you to think of the last time you said yes when every part of you wanted to say no. Maybe it was small, a favor, a plan you didn't want to make. Maybe it was bigger, a boundary you didn't hold with someone who mattered. Notice what happened right before you said yes. There was a flicker, a half second where some part of you calculated the cost of saying no. That flicker is the belief: if I say no, I'll lose them. You can open your eyes when you're ready. Here's what almost nobody tells you: that belief isn't a flaw. It's not a weakness. It's built by a very smart, very young version of you. And at the time, it worked. Somewhere back there, you were in a room, a relationship, a family where being agreeable was the safest way to stay connected. Maybe conflict was loud in your house. Maybe love felt conditional on being easy. Maybe you watched what happened to people who said no, and you made a decision quietly without ever even knowing you made it. I'll stay loved by staying agreeable. That wasn't dysfunction. That was strategy. A kid figuring out how to keep the people she needed. I want you to go back there for a second, not to relive it, just to see her. Close your eyes again. Let a memory surface. A moment, any age, where you learned that being easy kept you safe and being difficult or having needs or saying no put the relationship at risk. You don't have to describe it to anyone. Just see her. Notice how young she is. Notice what she's afraid will happen if she says what she actually wants. Now open your eyes, because I want you to do something with me. I want you to explore the belief against your actual adult life right now, today. Think of one specific relationship where you currently overgive, over-explain, or shrink to keep the peace, whether it's with a partner, a boss, a friend, or a parent. Now ask yourself honestly, in the last year, has there been a single moment where you told this person the truth held a boundary, or said no, and you actually lost them because of it. And remember, losing them doesn't only mean they left. Did you lose their love, their affection, their closeness, their respect? Did the relationship actually change in the lasting way you were afraid it would? Not that they got annoyed, not that they were disappointed, or that things felt uncomfortable for a day. Did the thing you were actually afraid of happen? For most women doing this exercise, when you look at the actual evidence instead of the fear, the answer is no. And if someone did withdraw their love, affection, or closeness, or actually left because of one honest boundary, what does that tell you about the relationship? What happens instead when you want to speak your truth and hold a boundary is often subtle. In that moment, you likely flinched. Imagine they would leave and avoided the conversation before they ever found out. That's the whole mechanism. The belief isn't being disproven by your life. It's being protected from ever being tested. Sit with that for a second. The evidence you've been collecting for if I stop, I'll lose them isn't actually evidence. It's avoidance dressed up as proof. So here's what's actually true, and I want you to say it out loud, even if it feels strange. The version of me that performed this belief, the version of me that formed this belief was protecting a child who thought she had no other option. I'm not her anymore. I have options now she didn't have then. Let's say it again. The version of me that formed this belief was protecting a child who thought she had no other option. I'm not her anymore. I have options now she didn't have back then. Say it as many times as you like. Now I want you to imagine the next time that flicker shows up, the half second before you say yes when you mean no. I want you to imagine naming it in real time, not fixing it, not overhauling your whole personality overnight, just noticing, oh, there's the belief right on cue, doing its job. And celebrate yourself for noticing it. And then choose differently. One honest sentence, one held boundary, one no. And if one honest boundary changes a relationship, that's information for you. You don't have to keep abandoning yourself just to keep someone else from leaving. What choosing differently is going to do is finally give you real evidence about whether the belief you've been living by is actually true today. Now you understand where it started and why it's been running longer than it should have. What you just did in 10 minutes is what a lot of women spend years circling. But naming a belief and living from a new one are two different things. And the gap between them is exactly where I work with women. If this cracked something open for you, come find me at KimberlyRush.com. I'd love to hear what came up. Until next time.